It's the MOPOWERZ, and we are back at you again on another fantastic sucker-free day. And remember, this is where knowledge is power on this show. How are you all doing? Me, I am doing absolutely great. It's a fantastic day. I've been researching. However, I've been neglecting another channel, but I am going to work on this channel here. And if you don't know what my other channel is, it's the Mo Show Chicago on YouTube. And you can also look at that channel and get some more inspiring information and knowledge that will sustain you and keep you elevated above all of the nonsense. Okay, today I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. I'm not going to keep you long. I want to talk to you about snitching, and I wanted to talk to you about the COVID-19 for kids. But for openers, anybody heard about the Popeyes chicken sandwich that's coming back on board? And they are even delivering Popeyes chicken sandwiches to your door. We remember what happened last time this Popeyes chicken thing became a hot item. People were getting stabbed and killed in a line for a Popeyes chicken sandwich. So when they deliver it to your home, I want you to think about what's in that sandwich. What are you really buying and what are you really eating? But I'll give you a hint if you don't know. It's called chemicals and Frankenstein chicken. If you didn't know, now you know. You got these crazy people out here who are working from home and say that they are stressed out from working at home. You don't have to get dressed to go anywhere. You will never be late. You don't have to deal with crazy motorists cutting you off in the middle of the morning trying to get into a McDonald's parking lot so that they can get them some coffee. You don't have to worry about red lights. You don't have to worry about weather. But what's even more strange is that you have those people whom are at home receiving unemployment checks and they're ready to go back to work. I don't understand any of that. The stress at home, working, and you want to go back to work even though you're receiving an unemployment check? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? People really bug me out. Just think you got the perfect job at home, doing nothing. And you can do what you want and still get paid. I don't understand people. Are you really that brainwashed or brain programmed that you can't even see that this is working in your best interest right at the moment? I don't get it. I don't get it. But then you have the sensible people that's out there who is mad, that they got to go back to work, Me, I'm off for the rest of the year. No school. I tell you, absolutely crazy. Then you have the news that's in Virginia. The restaurants, as they reopen their economy in Virginia, they are going to use Madigans in the restaurant so you don't feel like you're dining alone. I guess that's a great strategy or a different strategy if you're a restaurant owner. That's different anywhere, but are you going to sit and talk to the Madigan? It's just like someone just sitting there watching you eat and not saying a word. I mean, why even bother? We got all of this bad news that's on TV and on social sites and things of that nature, but we had some good things that took place as well. We've had the first black man to be the valedictorian of Princeton in their 274-year history of miseducating people. Okay. Finally got a brother there, valedictorian. I know that took a lot of hard work, especially at Princeton. And to give you another example of some great positivity among black people, you have these set of twin girls in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who was awarded over $2 million in scholarships and was accepted at 37 different universities around the country. However, they did the smart thing, I guess, and they decided to stay at home in Wisconsin and go to Marquette nursing. Okay. Kudos to them. Okay. Now, we're going to move off to something more serious, because throughout all of my videos, I always talk about how black people need to stop killing each other and how black people need to look at that. However, another useless, I guess, but it depends on which side of the fence you're standing on, I guess. But you let me know about this here, because this here is going to take you to another realm. This young black woman in Chicago, who is that in the chat room, unable to connect to the chat, please try again later. I don't know what that's about, you all. But you had this young girl in Chicago, pregnant and murdered because she was testifying in a murder trial. This is sad. Now, do you snitch or do you don't snitch? Do you snitch or do you don't snitch? There's a time to snitch and there's a time to don't snitch. Now, this young lady was testifying against someone who killed her cousin, okay? Someone who killed her family member. She was testifying against them in court, and just a few blocks away from where her cousin was murdered, she was found murdered. Should someone who have information on that, should they not snitch that rat out? I mean, this beast out? I don't want to get vulgar, you know. I'm trying to remove myself from that. But should we snitch on this person? I don't know who the person is, because if I knew who the person was, I would snitch his ass out. Why would you go kill a black woman who's pregnant for being a witness to someone who killed her family member? What if that was your family member? And I know that it was a guy. It wasn't a chick. I bet it was a guy. It was a black man killing a black woman, a black pregnant woman. So he took 2 lives. And his ass should be hung. With all of this that's going on. Now, I understand this is Chicago. We do some crazy things here. We gangster here. The whole world knows that. But when you come to a point of killing pregnant women, murdering, not selling them drugs, that's another form of killing as well. But we're talking about splat, splat, clap, clap. Now, this person who committed the murder on her family member, they should receive whatever time that they get with their dumb ass. And the person who killed this young lady because she was testifying to receive justice for her family member was slain. So if anybody out there, if you want to be a real person, if you want to be a real human being with some real morals and values, please snitch on his ass. Let the world know where this chump is at. I don't know. Well, it can't be the same person who is on the murder trial, but it could be, which we know, a person whom is the hitman. I don't know if it's mob related. That is totally, a whole different situation. It don't matter. We need all black people on the united front, and you all are still out here killing yourself. Just like the other week ago, we had like four people dead. South Side. Another killing. And the police are watching this, so they don't give a fuck about killing us. We're killing ourselves. And we're helping them do their job, making it more easier. Don't you understand? Don't you understand? Please snitch this dude out. Let me know what you all think in that chat room. Do you think this guy should be snitched out or not? Because I am in favor of this guy being snitched and ratted out. That is a different type of snitching. When a person does that, could you be next? Could your mama be next? Could your brother be next? Could your sister be next? Think about that. There's a time to snitch and there's not a time to snitch. There's a time to snitch and there is not a time to snitch. This here is a time to snitch. Straight up. So if anybody out there know this stupid ass dude who made the hit and did the hit on this young girl, please, by all means, rat his ass out. We do not need more black people killing black people. The KKK police is already doing enough. Already doing enough. Not to mention the fact that killing that took place by the cops in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. The cops came in the wrong home, killed that young black girl, her boyfriend, who has a license to have arms, okay, shot a police, and now he's being held in jail for attempted murder. On the police, even though they went into the wrong house, killed the wrong person. I'm just saying, did you all forget about that? I don't hear anybody talking about that anymore. I wonder what happened with that. The police are killing us, and you fools are killing us just like the police. So you know what that means to me? You should get a police uniform and go help the police legally. It's a shame. The world is watching us. All of this is going on. You got the reopening of America. I'm not going to those places that's going to be full of people. I'm not going. Just because you don't currently have this so-called virus at this moment does not mean that you can't contract it. Right? So if you haven't been having it, stay away from the people and continue not to have it. Still go outside. I go outside all the time. But I'm not going to be around hundreds and thousands of people. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. Okay? People talking about this quarantine. I've already told you that they're looking to make this an 18-month to 24-month thing. I've already told you that. And I got all of this information from the Washington Post, from the New York Times, the New York Post, and some of these people who are whistleblowers. Yeah, There's a lot of information running around out here. So they're going to give you a little freedom. But when they take it back, what are you going to do? Jared Kush, who's some type of, senior advisor for Donald Trump, okay? I think that's his son-in-law. He said that reclosing America again is going to be very difficult. And it is. However, if you want to be one of those stupid people, go right ahead and be stupid. I'm going to continue to keep living. Whatever's out there among hundreds and thousands of people, I don't want it. Whatever it is, whatever they say it is, because there's some new stuff that's going on. And if you've been following up with this story, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Even like California, Los Angeles, they are extending their lockdown until August. Until August. That's right. And it's going to be longer than that. They got you psyched up, fooling you, thinking that you're going to get some baseball. You're not going to get no baseball. You're not getting no baseball. You're not getting no football. You're not getting any of that. Even the Broadway shows in New York have been canceled until Labor Day. That's even after August. Store prices are skyrocketing. Hasn't been this bad in 46 years. So you tell me, is it getting better or is it getting worse? Is it getting better or is it getting worse? You have people in California having scuffles, small fights with the councilman whom they called at his house. They caught him at his house, and the protesters was having scuffle with this man, just as the other councilwoman that was in Michigan. She was going into one of those municipal buildings, and she was escorted by black armed men because she was being targeted, harassed by white supremacist groups who was also armed. It's getting really crazy out here. It's getting crazy out here. People do not know how to live under pressure. Black people good at living under pressure. We've been under pressure since we've been in this joint. Okay? But Americans, they having real problems. I mean, they ready to go back to work and still getting paid. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people? But speaking of this COVID-19 and this lockdown thing, the National Guard has already been testing people, giving tests. Yes, the National Guards, who are not doctors. You have some people that's in the medical field, that's in the National Guard. But remember, the National Guard is part-time. They don't do this every day. They have everyday lives and deal with the same madness that you deal with the exception for 2 weeks out of the year when they go active duty. For 2 weeks out of the year. Other than that, now they could be in the medical field at a hospital. I don't know. But however, the point of the matter is that the military is now giving tests, corona tests, in the state of Wisconsin. In fact, they're doing it so heavy that they've moved out into UMO's parking lots. And if you're not familiar what UMO's is in Wisconsin, those are like public aid office parking lots in Chicago. Okay, so you know when you go here to a public aid office in Chicago and you have all of those employees parking in the background in that parking lot, that is being used at UMO's to administer COVID coronavirus testing that the military is performing on civilians. This is going to be a nationwide thing. Get ready for it. Get your child ready for it. And speaking of kids, we'll get to that in a minute. In addition to this coronavirus thing, China is resealing people up in their homes. They are resealing people up in their homes. Now, remember, they had reopened their economy at one time, but now they're resealing people because in their homes because the virus is resurfacing. And from the looks of it, it's getting more aggressive. It has gotten so aggressive, getting back to the kids, it has gotten so aggressive that now COVID-19 is targeting kids. Huh? Yeah, that's right. That's what they say. And this COVID-19 virus that's here in America, reportedly, according to the BBC News, according to CNN News, according to New York Times, according to Washington Post, and according to the New York Post. So now you know where I get this from, that it came from over in Europe with a child transported here in New York City, where you have over 100 cases of children with this virus. And this new virus, which is another strand of the COVID-19, is called pediatric multisystem inflammatory syndrome. Huh? They call it for short PMIS. Pediatric multisystem inflammatory syndrome. Months ago, it wasn't affecting kids at all. And now it's affecting kids. And a national alert has been made because of this, yet we are reopening America, huh? They just reopened Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. And you have a national alert for children being sick now. This is another push or an agenda for these vaccines to be pushed. I've already told you that your religion is not important because here in Illinois, they're already working to pass a law to exempt your religion from being a factor in your child receiving these vaccines. And you must remember what Bill Gates said about these vaccines that they inject in your body. They are genetically modified organisms. Mo didn't say that. MOPOWERZ didn't say that. Bill Gates said that. The same guy who hasn't been arrested yet for murdering kids and people that he's already murdered with this virus. And I think Anthony Fauci, I know Anthony Fauci has a patent on the virus as well. You need to go on the Mo Show Chicago and check that one out because I did something on that and gave you the exact name patent that Anthony Fauci has on the virus. In fact, all of these viruses is named after a white man that's in power. If not a white man, it's a China man. If you think I'm lying, just do your research. Kids. What's really going to kill you is this here. My man, Michael Ryan, excuse me, as they would call him, doctor, and I want to remove the doctor for a minute. Michael Ryan of the World Health Organization said this in regards to the COVID-19 coronavirus. He said that they take these people, homeless people, transitional people, clean them up, inject them, send them back into a home or their homes with their families so that it can spread. Doesn't this sound familiar to you? When they just released all of these inmates from prison, I told you there was a plan behind this. I told you that in a couple of videos ago. That was the reason why they were doing that. And how did you know who has it and who don't have it? But Michael Ryan of the World Health Organization has a pretty idea of how many people just about is contacted. This goes in conjunction with the new snitch program called Trace, HR 6666. If you think I'm lying, just look it up. And if you watch my other video here on MOPOWERZ, maybe 2 videos ago, prior to this one, I spoke about that. The big snitch program. Will you be one of those snitching to get paid? Now, if you get paid to snitch, why shouldn't you snitch on someone who just murdered a baby and a woman, and the baby was in her belly, and she was doing a justifiable witnessing at a murder trial because they killed one of her family members? So snitch on that shit with no pay. What if that was your mama, sister, daughter, wife, girlfriend, niece, cousin? You know, whatever category you want to place her in. But you think about that now. The kids got this COVID-19 thing going on. And once again, I'm going to say what it is again. One more time. Pediatric multisystem inflammatory syndrome. They are pushing a vaccine agenda. Just from my standpoint, when they let this joker go full-fledged, I highly recommend that you don't be around all of those people. Even people who go to the casino. I mean, they may have a problem with that because they're itching to get back to the casino. Just like people are itching to get back to the malls. People are itching to do things that they normally used to do. But that's not going to happen. Things will never be like you thought they would be again. Those times have changed. People keep asking me about the 5G thing. Go watch the Mo Show Chicago. I did a 5G video on that. But in short, I would tell you, when you stop hearing birds chirping where they normally would be at chirping, when you don't hear them chirping no more, when you see trees stop growing that used to be very fruitful with leaves, and the bark is peeling on the tree on one side, but it's not if it's closest to the G pole, and people just start losing their minds, well, you know. Yes. So, with that, you all, I hope I gave you all something to think about, which I know that I did. And by the way, before I forget, if you like yourself, press that subscribe button. If you don't like yourself and you want to be like Candace Owens, press that subscribe button. If you want a united front for Black people against killing by the KKK police, press that subscribe button. If you are proactive for the upliftment of all humanity, press that subscribe button. And with that, you all, I want you to remember, your third eye makes you shine like jewelry. Knowledge is power. MOPOWERZ. Thanks for viewing.